Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of CIO Talks Series by Ensure Services, which is a brand of Redington. In these talk series, we speak to IT leaders from across industries and understand from them how they are running their IT function and what are the challenges they are facing and steps they are taking to overcome them. Today, we have with us from the energy sector, Sylesh Gopalakrishnan, who's the global IT head for vendor management at Petrofac. Sylesh, thank you so much for joining us today. We also have with us Suresh Babu, who's the Senior Vice President at Ensure Services across Middle East Africa. Suresh, lovely to have you again.
Thank you so much, Raghu, and welcome, Mr. Sylesh. Looking forward to insightful conversation with you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me for this wonderful opportunity from Ensure.
Thanks again, Sylesh. And Sylesh, just to get things started, could you just tell us something about Petrofac and Petrofac in the Middle East region?
Petrofac is a global company with having around 36 countries, presence in 36 countries. And when you go to Middle East, Petrofac started from the 30 years before. Petrofac started in Middle East, actually in Sharjah. From there, the growth started. Then the shares are floated in UK, then registered in UK, then it become big. Now it's in Middle East. Is a UAE itself, more than 1,000 employees are working for Petrofac. Mainly we focus from Sharjah is a second head office of Petrofac, and we are focusing all the Middle East region oil and gas sector, like Aramco, Qatar Gas, Oman Petrol, ADNOC, such areas we are focusing.
Great. In fact, Suresh, I'd like to get you in here. Like a company like Petrofac, which is in multiple locations, what is the role of an MSP in contributing to the growth of such a company?
That's a very good question, Raghu. Especially in Petrofac, you have multiple offices where employees are there in all these locations. That is where a company like Ensure Services, who is a MSP, can really provide great support, because we are spread across Middle East and Africa. We are there in about 28 countries. Our resources, infrastructure, inventory have been deployed in all these countries. So you can't afford to, your core competency being in the energy sector, the customers cannot afford to have IT resources deployed in these locations. That is where MSP like Ensure can provide that support, because all our resources are very well trained and certified by leading vendors, be it servers, storage, networks, and software and systems, besides endpoint devices and print products. So we can provide end-to-end managed services support for all your IT infrastructure and endpoint devices across those locations, given our spread and experience and the certified resources we have in these locations.
Great. Thanks for that insight, Suresh. And that's where I would just jump into the IT side of things. Suresh, from your perspective, what are some of the key challenges you are facing from an IT perspective within the energy sector today? And especially when it comes to optimizing technologies, optimizing business priorities, how are you kind of approaching all of this?
So challenges, saying a lot of is less, but still we have challenges in some of the regions. Say when you say Africa region, to getting the resources and equipment. These are the challenges we are facing from here. And especially optimizing, when you say optimizing the technologies into a single, or bringing down to, instead of utilizing more energy and more space, to bringing down to a single box. Like say, if you say in the ground level, if I say bringing the our data center in a box. So these concepts are given from the market, but still we are getting challenges to deploy these things into the regions, the remote areas where the projects are happening.
Sylesh, as a follow-up question to this, like there are so many options out there when it comes to selecting a technology. How do you go about selecting the best for your company?
As a Petrofac, most of their requirements are coming from the needs of the clients. So Petrofac can select some things for us, but most of our requirements are coming from client's requirement. Like at Nook, he's saying we need this software for building this project. So there is no choice to go with Petrofac and say no, we will use this one. We will suggest maybe 2 or 3. So the most of the requirements are coming to Petrofac is from the clients. So we are a company using multi softwares. That's why I say a lot of contracts, because multi softwares. Maybe this software will serve that other software purpose also, but still depend upon the client. We are forced to use all.
Really complex, I would say. And Suresh, what could be the role of an MSP here to reduce the complexity and optimize businesses for companies such as Petrofac?
Pretty interesting situation you are in as an IT lead, because in many companies, the IT head discuss with the business requirements and then decide the infrastructure. But in our case, you deploy the IT need based on your various client needs, right? So which means you would have varying requirements of hardware, software, application layer, and everything. See, that is where, as an MSP, we can play a great role by partnering with IT leads like Mr. Sylesh and various organizations. We have a complete IT roadmap, understanding the customer needs, and we can really recommend what kind of a hardware, software, application to be deployed in consultation with the clients, right? Once that is deployed, we have our remote monitoring system after the deployment, where we continuously monitor the operations. If there is any issues, proactively we are able to sense and address, so that your client operation or production is not impacted. And as we do this monitoring, we also get a lot of business insights and analytics of various resources. We are using IT resources, and that will help us optimize the resources and maximize the utilization in terms of storage or network, security requirements, so on and so forth. The other thing, important value add we can add is in terms of capacity utilization, ramping up and scaling down. That's a key thing, planning and scaling down, because you have a multi-clients requirement, right? Today you would have this requirement from the client, tomorrow there will be another requirement. That is where we can play a very dynamic role in terms of understanding your requirements, how well we can scale up and down the resources. For example, I heard you saying that in Africa, there were challenges in resources. On the other hand, we have a very well trained and certified resources across Africa. I'm not even talking about South Africa, you talk about Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, or Nigeria, Ghana. Everywhere we have our certified resources across the infrastructure platforms, right? We could really help in that area. And to cap it all, you have a security requirement as well. That is where we can provide value add. So just to sum it up, I think we can be in the journey along with Petrofac or customers like them, understanding the IT requirements, design and deploying them, and also monitor and manage them to kind of sum it all.
Great. Thanks, Suresh. Sylesh, I'd like to move to another point, because what was really interesting in what you said is that there are multiple technologies that you have to work with and you have no option, you have to do it. Now, with all of this comes a responsibility of security. If you could just give us a perspective of the scope of security that you have to oversee from an IT perspective, that will be really insightful.
Yeah, we have a wonderful security team in Petrofac. The previous CIO, maybe it is well known in the market. His name is George Eban. Now he is the CIO of the. He was CISO. He was the first CISO of Petrofac, and now he is the CIO of the company. So his background is from GE. So for his, he is more security level thinking, and every technology level. He is an advisor to a lot of companies, and so each moment they are vigilant in checking all the security level things if we are bringing anything inside the Petrofac, like software or a thing. So they put a control in that anything, if it is a 1 hour use or 2 hour use for a software in the network, they need to be approved by them. They will do the testing, and security team is supported by our main partner is IBM. So they were 24-hour resources are there. They will use to test and give a assurance that this is suitable for our network and we can go ahead.
Can you give some example in terms of any recent security threat you faced and how it was overcome? Or what kind of threats normally come?
Normally, about the phishing mails and scooping and some type of say login issues of different countries and all things used to come. They are 24 hours, they are monitoring it. And if you face that one user is trying to log in within different locations or different IPs, immediately they will block that and they will update us what is happening there.
Any example you can give, any recent story you can give?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe what would have read in other customers or somewhere else. Especially in a post-COVID scenario, we have a lot of this security threats coming in. Anything that you heard of, not specific to where you work, but generally?
Security threats are there and alerts are there. Monthly 1 or 2 are coming, but they are able to quarantine that part. Team is ready and 24 hours they are there. They are able to quarantine that because we never went into a breach or anything or still.
So when it was, during COVID, right? Pre-COVID things were different. During COVID it was different, and post-COVID again it's a little different. So how did the security aspect change in all of these three phases? Pre, during, and
so
post.
simply saying.
How did you cope up? Because suddenly everything was in lockdown, right?
Yep.
So what happened? Can you just give us some storytelling around it?
When you say in the story, is from the basic level. We say if the COVID started, then people started working from home, and we started giving, because at that time Petrofac using almost 80% people are using laptop, and remaining people are using, because we have engineers. Engineers are there, who are designers using heavy engineering applications and things. So they are using the desktops. So we are forced to deliver this to their home, work from home. So when before going work from home, the support team have an challenges to install everyone to VPN.
Yeah.
And then what security involved. They change a lot of policies in the VPN, how the VPN works and how they can log in, and they implement a multi-factor authentication in the VPN and make sure that multi-factor authentication working, and given multi-factor authentication itself, they given to multi options, again SMS or phone calls or such things they implemented and started giving. Also, when people started working from home, we forced to increase our bandwidth, because people are accessing resources from outside to inside. So heavy applications and all things, when they pulling them. So that way we managed it from the COVID time. So after COVID, so people started coming, then more threats are there, where they use this connected the laptop, which network connected, anything is there. So then they are continuously updating the antivirus thing. We are using Microsoft the Defender we are using for all the laptops. So we started using Defender, updated the Defender, and monitoring is more strict to the laptops which come out from this one inside. So if have face any small challenges or any feel that any threat in the laptop, immediately we took the formatting, and the service team is supported them for further.
Interesting. So while you spoke about security, at the same time, I'm sure your network infrastructure would also have to go a transformation in all of this.
Yes.
So what was that transformation?
So at that time, we move most of our on-prem servers and all things, which all are the servers we can move to cloud. We move to cloud. So if you say 5 years before, my data center is more than 50 or almost 100 servers are there. Now it is reduced to 3 rack, 2 rack network equipments and some servers. So the rest of all are migrated to cloud, and that way we optimized the data centers globally, all the areas, and reduce the power consumption and things we did.
Great. In fact, good insight. Suresh, I'd like to come to you. Like from a MSP perspective, what is the value add an MSP can give from a security standpoint to a company such as Petrofac, which is in multiple regions and has very complex, I would say, requirements when it comes to utilization of different technologies?
Yeah, I mean, security is a very, very important factor, especially after having gone through the COVID, where remote working, hybrid working now become the phenomena. I mean, we have been reading multiple organizations got into this ransomware, despite they're the large organizations, right? And it's so important we deploy all the layers of security, whether it is endpoint or network layer, application layer, of course, the physical security, because yours is on-prem. So that is where we can help to deploy advanced security monitoring tools and be able to pick up any security threats and mitigate and quarantine them. That's where our ability comes in. We also have a full-fledged SOC setup within the UAE region, and it will be very useful for customers in Middle East and Africa. And we have many customers using those services. And it is especially customers like Petrofac who are in multi locations. And that is where we being in the multi-location can be very useful in terms of not only supporting the products, providing the complete managed services and security services to them.
Sylesh, you just carry forward from the previous question. We spoke about security and networking. That was the past and the present. How do you see the future moving forward?
Future, when you say future, now it's on artificial intelligence era. So, so because of that, we have a data digital pillar is in IT, built in almost now 5 years. They are doing analysis and data analysis for entire region plus departments, including engineering, health and safety, IT, and including executive management, to see the progress of the projects, progress of the one person, how they are utilizing the engineer in which area, which engineer is more efficient than that type of data, and started doing it. So like that, they are doing this same thing for security and infrastructure also. They are collecting the data from them and building the dashboard, and the dashboard is like refreshing within 5 hours or 4 hours. So earlier it was not like that. We monthly, somebody will pull the data, they will analysis that analysis will be depend on the person who is sitting on that mode. He is analysis and he is giving the. Now it is almost all are in the dashboards with the data, live data, and so from there they are able to reduce, where we can reduce the if we say infra things like servers or any applications can be moved to cloud. Such things they are analyzing and they are giving the data, and they started working on with the partners like Microsoft and other people. So because why we say Microsoft, we are using Microsoft Azure as a service.
Okay.
So a good perspective when it comes to using data for your decision making and optimizing your business, and of course it will lead to some cost saving as well. You mentioned AI. where all do you see application of AI within your sphere of things, considering that the requirements are really complex in your business? So how do you see AI playing a role?
So AI playing a role is currently there is some project is going on to dig the is a PNID data searching. So like that we say the project data from the project data or project train they are developing a tool to find the particular numbers or particular things drawn in the diagram. It will pull and it will convert and give a chart how many this type of equipments are elements are used in that file or that project. So such things they are started developing. It will help. Earlier it was done by humans. So they will open the file and take the details and collect it and keep it a record. So now they're developing a tool to fetch this data. So it is like artificial intelligence. So it will, when the data is there, so it will fetch it and give it.
Very interesting. Any other example you would want to share that will really help a lot of people who are going to watch this video?
So a lot of projects are happening there. So some of them are not at started giving the information to outside what they are doing for what purpose and all things.
Okay. Okay. So in fact, from this, let's move on to a very popular topic now and very important topic for all of us, which is around sustainability. COP28 just happened here in Dubai. So just wanted to get your perspective. What are you doing within the IT function to drive sustainability?
So we already started doing it from a quite long time because earlier, so simple. I mean, a simple example I say printers. So we have around more than 200 printers in Sharjah. It's a multifunction printer. So the big printers multifunction. So the cost of that printing cost is almost 300K per month or twice a month. And now to reduce that one, to reduce the usage of paper and the carbon. So what we did is we implemented print management solutions and the authorization also enabled for all the printers. So it will help people if some people send the print and if that print is not required, so they can delete it from there or they can ignore that print because it will go to the queue. It will stay there for another 12 hours. After that, it will automatically delete it from there. So for the such things, we can reduce the printing cost and paper also.
Yeah.
And another thing is reducing the size of the data center. So energy saving, it will help the energy saving. So how we reduce the data center size is migrating to the clouds. So most of the service, what are the things we can do? Still, evaluation is going on. Some of the on-prem applications, how we can move to the cloud data center and remote data centers. So such a way we also from not other departments, HSE, and they build their own one wing for sustainability. 2-3 employees to visit all the project sites and see how they can help the environment to reduce the waste and things. Also, we started evaluating the basic hardware like laptop, desktop, and all things, which is more efficient and more sustainable, and the materials which they used. So such things we started doing it for.
Great, Suresh. Good practical steps that we
Yeah.
are hearing from you. And Suresh, I'd like to get your perspective also that what can an MSP do to support such initiatives? Like they have 1,000+ employees, like larger companies such as those. Of course, there's a refresh cycle there for laptops that they're using or desktops that are being utilized, plus printers also that are being used. So what role can an MSP play in this scenario?
Well, sure. I mean, MSP can play a very significant role. Like I said, the journey of MSP with customer is going to be end to end. So We be partnering with IT team, IT leadership team in terms of deploying the IT roadmap. And as we working along with them in the design and deployment, we can choose the right infrastructure in terms of energy efficient products, and also which is easy recyclable products. You know? So that's first and foremost. He talked about the energy saving as well. The next thing is in terms of life cycle assessment of these products, right? We deploy certain tools to assess this product, whether PC or printer, server, storage, and find out optimal time to do the upgrades or replacement of parts that can even enhance the life of the product, even if, let's say, it could be even 6 months to 1 year, right? Thus avoiding or delaying the replacement of the hardware, right? The third important thing is refurbishment. This is becoming the key now. I at least have 4 or 5 customers, large ones, reaching out to us, asking us whether will be able to refurbish them. It is more than saving dollars, it's purely sustainability comes in mind. See, for example, there will be different teams in an organization. You would have a R&D team, sales team, back-end team, front-end team, coordinators, right? The need of the devices are different. Maybe the design team, R&D team would have a high-end workstation products. They might need to replace it once in 2 or 3 years. But that time, we take those products, refurbish it, and it can be used in different department who may not be in the need of such a high-end specs, right? So thus we can refurbish it and use it in a different function where they're happy with the product. So thus you're not buying the products, right? And as we keep doing these initiatives, the next thing is finally you got to dispose the products, right? At that time, the sanitization of data is so important. You have a data security needs and the compliance needs. That is where we would help to sanitize and provide the confirmation, the certification for the sanitization. And we also partner with certified recyclers who use the right disposable process, certified processes for disposing the hardware. And plus, it's very important to use the right ethical standards in this disposable process, right? And if they are in a manufacturing environment customer, we can partner with these e-waste partners and get those metals or plastics or any other stuff which can be reused in the manufacturing. That's the whole thing about the recycling aspect of it, right? And most important, we being in the IT industry almost more than 25 years, we can really create an awareness program in the customer environment for all the device users as how best they can use the product, expand the lifespan of the product, and how it helps in the circular economy, thus giving a better planet for a future generation.
Yeah, thanks, Suresh. In fact, your names are rhyming, Sylesh and Suresh, so that's a coincidence. My last question to you, Sylesh, is how do you see sustainability playing a role in your decision making when it comes to taking decisions for IT?
So now the key instruction from the company is when we go for any decision to buy or implement or anything, the main thing is sustainability. Everybody is asking, is it reaching this much point to make sure this is to be there? That is the current challenges we are facing. But we are getting support from the all the partners which we are working with. So they are coming with when we start thinking up of doing that one, they will be there in the doorstep with the solution. That is what is market is happening right now.
Yeah.
So there is no much challenges right now to achieve sustainability and bringing things inside.
Great. Any example you can give that how you have kind of brought about sustainability into decision making. That, for example, any new software you're choosing, any new service you're choosing, how it's coming out, because it will help a lot of people out in the industry overall, that this is how they can also start using similar practices. And what do you ask a service provider that from a sustainability perspective?
So when we ask for the rating, energy rating, or because most of the sustainable things are coming from the hardware. So from our side, hardwares and all the things, they are coming with end user devices or hardwares, and so first we will start asking for the ratings. So now we started getting ratings as a chart, in an important role. Their rating chart is important role. We will submit discuss internally and find out which is suitable for us, and from there we are starting using.
Great. I think great practical insights that we've got, especially on sustainability from both Sylesh you and Suresh you. So thank you so much for your time, Sylesh and Suresh. Really nice chatting. It was like a conversation which just kept flowing. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raghu, and thank you so much, Mr. Ayush, for being with us and providing your insights in today's world of energy, how IT can help. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylesh.